Hey everybody, it's Rebecca from Black is the New Red. And I know it's been a little while since I checked in with you all, but I've just been trying to digest so much of the current news, and it's just been coming at me fast and furious. And every day I say, oh, I'm going to make a video on that. I'm going to make a video on that. And then it just kept snowballing, and so many things, so many different things to talk about. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go for it today. Today is a day where this will probably be more of a rant than anything, but why not? Um, so I kept silent on the Jussie Smollett whole situation, not because I, in any way, shape, or form, thought he was telling the truth. From the first time I saw the story, I said, this is bogus because MAGA country is not in Streeterville, in Chicago, in the below zero temperatures in the middle of the wee hours of the morning. I knew something smelled fishy with that. But what I don't understand is why do people believe that they can continue to make up fake hoax stories and it's not going to be completely investigated and brought out into wide open shame? Why do this is what puzzles me about the liberal lunatic left media and those celebrities and whoever. How is it that you think in 2019 that you're not going to be discovered? I mean, how do you honestly think that you can try to pull off the most Scooby-Doo crime in the world and it not be discovered? I mean, time after time after time, whether it's Covington or whatever, we live in a society where there's cameras everywhere. And if they're not cameras posted up, everybody has a camera on their phone. I just don't understand the mindset. You're just going to throw out the falsehoods, throw out and risk your career and your viability as a person that could be trusted and believed because of what? Because you hate Donald Trump, or because you are a puppet in the hands of the puppet masters who decide what the narrative is going to be and how it's going to be portrayed either in the media or on social media. Really, Jussie? Really? Is that what we've come to? We've come to the point where you have in America what's now being termed as MAGA-phobic or MAGA-phobia, which is people who are just afraid of those Trump supporters. And you should be, not because of violence, it's because we have voting power. People who are Trump supporters, there's still a bunch of them that are in the closet, that are not willing to come out, that are not willing to put that MAGA hat on and say, hey, you know what? I'm a Trump supporter, and what? What are you going to do? So you should be afraid in the sense that when it comes time to vote, there's a whole bunch of MAGA people out there in MAGA country that want to see change, that want to see what's happening in this Democrat agenda that's being pushed forward by the liberal lunatics in Congress. Yeah, you're going to see MAGA country come alive. You're going to see MAGA country like you've never before seen. You're going to see MAGA country in Miami. You're going to see MAGA country in California, Los Angeles, New York, DC, Chicago. Yeah, there's some MAGA people in Chicago, maybe in the rural sections, maybe not downtown, but you're going to see it. You know why? Because it's going to be a pushback against the foolishness of the left. Now, the Democrats, if you didn't have a crazy radical agenda before, now it's all out. It's just all stops. Hey, we want to kill babies. We think the baby should die. If a child is born during an abortion attempt and they just happen to be born alive, oh well, put them over here in a bottle, in a jar of solution and drown them. Or leave them on the table and not provide oxygen or any life-saving methods. Why? Because the mother said that the child should die. The child is outside of the womb. So now you are the party of infanticide. Good luck with that. Good luck with that in 2020. You also want open borders just so that anybody come on in Anybody just say, hey, with drug trafficking, with sex trafficking, with whatever, the illegals, MS-13, come on in. Let's just bring them in. And hey, our America is your America. Really, Democrats? Really? Do you honestly think this is a winning hand? No, but you've gone absolutely nuts. So today I wake up and Kamala Harris says, we need to decriminalize the sex trade. You know why? Because you want a piece of the action. You want to be able to tax it just like you decriminalized abortion, and that's become over $1 billion industry. All you want to do is take things that are morally reprehensible and bring them into society to destroy the world that we have today, to destroy our world, the world that we have today, and create your new world, and then tax everything. And this is going to give you a whole new crop of lobbyists to get up there in Congress and to pad your campaigns and to pad your pockets. So let's just bring in the sex trade, just like you did with the abortion industry, just like you did with tobacco, just like you did with alcohol. All of the things that in excess can totally, completely erode the moral code of the United States of America, you legitimize it. You say, okay, yes, let's do that. Does it make any sense to decriminalize prostitution? Yes, it's the oldest profession in the world, blah, blah, blah. But do you know what that's going to mean for sex traffickers around the world? I mean, these are the people that represent. How in the world could you still possibly be a Democrat? How? Now, we know there's a whole bunch of rhinos out there that pretend to be Republican, but when it comes to a vote, what do? They vote with the Democrats, so you're a rhino. How could you not stand for life? How could you? And you always want to label our president as racist. Well, why is the governor of Virginia still in office? Why is his lieutenant governor still in office? Why is the attorney general still in office? Because the Democrats do not hold their elected officials responsible for the disgusting racist behavior. Why is a lawmaker out of Maryland being ridiculed right now because she called some section of Maryland the N-word district? Why is she still allowed to be able to have and sit in as an elected official governing anywhere in the state of Maryland? Why? Because the rules don't apply to the Democrats. The rules apply to the Republicans. Okay? That's what the rules are. And you could smear and slander. And now we got Michael Cohen up here testifying and smearing. It's the same smearing campaign that the Democrats always utilize. So they got dirt on Michael Cohen. So he sits up there and singing like a canary and making a. You were convicted for lying to Congress, so now Congress is going to bring you back, and America's supposed to believe you. I heard out of my own ears you testified and said, I found it. I was very proud to be known as the personal attorney for the president of the United States. Why were you proud? If everything you just testified to is correct and is not a lie, why would you be proud to be an attorney of somebody like that? You stayed for 10 years. I'm believing one or two things happened within those 10 years. What in the world were you telling your family? Either you were telling your family that this is the most racist, con man, cheat person I've ever met, and I'm working for him. What would your family say? What would your kids say? Or you praised this guy while you were defending, his interests for the last 10 years. And now your family's probably sitting very confused as you sit up there in Congress trashing somebody that you probably praised to your family. Which one was it? Which one was it, liar? Which one was it? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't work for somebody for 10 years and say they're lying and a cheat and a con man and a racist, and that doesn't make you one. Because people, birds of a feather flock together. People who are like-minded come together. You had no problem defending his interests, so what does that make you? What does that make you in the eyes of your family? And what does that make you in the eyes of America? Either you're a racist, lying, cheat type of con man, or you are just a liar. Okay? So don't give me this crap. You just testified in Congress that you were very proud to be known as the personal attorney to the president of the United States of America. And then you flip the script and say all these horrible negative things. Which one is it? And then how could you be proud of a president that you say did all these things? You are a liar. Okay? Democrats, you need to be just shamed openly, publicly. There needs to be a national outcry. You have become the party of the anti-life, killing innocent kids, allowing them to die. Open borders. You vote down and vote for, you vote down an issue that will protect lives, and then vote for an issue that will keep threaten our lives. Like you're trying to vote down the national security order by the president. Who are you people? Really? Who are you? Who are the Democrats? I am ashamed to have ever been a part of the Democrat Party. I am ashamed to have ever been associated with such a party. And if you are a Democrat and you have just the slightest amount of decency, you would run away from this disgusting, perverted mockery of an American party. Nobody in their right mind should stand behind infanticide. I'm a little hyped up. Nobody in their right mind should say, keep our borders open so anything and everybody can come through. Nobody in our right mind should try to vote against a national emergency. Nobody in their right mind should try to decriminalize things that are criminal. Nobody in their right mind should point fingers at somebody and say they're racist when clearly people in their own party are racist, and you're not demanding that they vacate those seats. You're hypocrites. You're absolute hypocrites. And it's disgusting. And you keep going further and you keep pushing this envelope further and further and further over the moral cliff. Americans, when are you going to stand up? When are you going to say to your elected officials, hey, I'm a Democrat, but I don't stand for this? When are you going to dictate the narrative for your party? Because I promise you, if you don't, those of you who are still Democrats, if you don't take control and demand that the narrative shifts, you will lose time and time again, and there will be such thing as no Democrat Party. You will live to see the day where the Democrat Party is buried in the backyard forever, as it should be. We are Americans. We have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life. Every living being, born and unborn, has the right to live. And if you can stand by as a Democrat and stand next to the platform and the policy of let every child, if the child is born and it's laying on a table, let him die, or kill it in his mother's womb right before birth, you have blood on your hands. Look at them; they're red. Why am I now? When I consider myself black as the new red, because it is. Do I think everybody in the GOP is wonderful? No. But my concern and my desire is to see the origin or the original purpose for the Republican Party to be reestablished in America. Because the Republican Party was founded by abolitionists and ex-slaves, free slaves, abolitionists. White people who had a heart to see slaves and free men be the same. White men, white women, black women be the same. And have equal rights. And that's what they fought for initially. Sure, the waters have been muddied. They have definitely been muddied over the years. But let's get back to the original intent. What was the original intent of the Democrats? They birthed the Klan. They voted against every anti-slavery bill ever put up. They were against stripping the Jim Crow laws. Everything racist, everything that had to do with just being morally bankrupt. That's what the Democrats stood for. If you don't believe it, look at their platform now. Everything that is morally bankrupt has a DEM behind it. This is disgusting. And it's higher than anything we could ever imagine. We are wrestling not against flesh and blood, but you're wrestling against demonic powers. We're wrestling against satanic influences in the earth today. And if you don't believe it, just Get on social media and look and see what is happening. These powers are not going to be defeated by us just marching on Washington and signing petitions. We also have to, in conjunction with that, we also have to war on our knees in the spirit realm. Pray for your leaders. Pray for the President of the United States. Pray for his cabinet. Pray for everyone in Congress that is standing upon righteous value and is standing upon the principles that will advance this country as a republic, as a free republic. Pray. Pray for your elected officials. Pray for those in city government. Pray for those in state government. Pray for those in the federal government. Pray for those in the school system. It is time to cry out to the living God, who is the only one that can help us. America is fading fast with the elected officials that we sit up there. You voted them in, Democrats. You went out during the midterms, and because of your Trump derangement syndrome, you voted in a bunch of monsters. Or you kept in a bunch of monsters. And then on the Republican side, if you see a bunch of rhinos, you voted them in or you kept them there. It's time to demand better for America. America, God has shed his grace on thee. And I hear all over the news and social media, this is her truth or his truth. The only truth is the truth that matters, and it's his truth which is marching on. God's truth. It is his truth that matters. His truth has to march on. His truth is what we have faith in. I cry when I think about the lost potential of the unborn. Nobody knows what's coming out of the womb. Nobody knows the potential life of what that person could be, him or her. America, get before your God. Cry out, mourn, because he will hear. He will hear us, and he will heal our land. We, the people, have to take it back physically and spiritually. If not, what's going to be left for our children? What kind of America, what kind of world will we leave them? A world where anything goes. A world where men can show up at the Oscars in a tuxedo dress. A world where if you are training your whole, your life, you've given your life over to training in sport, and you get beat because you're a woman getting beat by men who consider themselves women. What kind of world are we handing the next generation to? What are we doing? What are we saying? And where are we going? My father used to say, if it's going to be, it's up to me. America, if we're going to be the America that our founding fathers wanted us to be, hoped for us to be, prayed for us to be, a more perfect union, we got to battle. Church, where are you? Where are our church leaders defending the faith, defending the word of God, and loving people? Not just defending the faith in the Bible, but loving them. The word of God says you will know them by their love, not hating people who are different, or hating people based on race or gender or sexual orientation. God says to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. If we utilize our weapons, America, we will indeed make America great again. America will be great, and it will be blessed by the God that we say we trust. Sorry for this long rant, but I just couldn't take it anymore, and neither should you. God bless you guys. Love you.